Alright, so here's where we're at. This is done. Our alignment tool is in place. I penciled in a scribe mark along the edge there where this needed to go when I had it installed here. And drilled this with a very small bit, like at an 1/8 inch or something. And then brought this piece over here, held it in place, and drilled through to drill this where it needed to be precisely. Here's our lock assembly. Alright, so when this is in place, like that, when I had the screws in it a moment ago, I used my transfer punch, which fits in the hole quite nicely. Got a whole set of these. They come in a set. Where the heck are they? Right here. It's every drill bit size. Okay. Got a couple of them sitting out. So I dinged it with the hammer, and it made two nice little punch marks. One right there, and one right there. Now what I forgot to do is when this was installed and the screws tightened up here, I need to put a scratch mark at the bottom of this to match the lock so I know where to cut it. So I'm going to do that next, and then I got to drill these holes out to a number 21, thread them to number 1032, and the mounting area will be done, and I'll be working next on the shaft. Alright, so we got this done, and this is, other than degreasing and painting that little piece and this little piece, also I need to buff this and deburr the holes, but I'm not going to do that now. We're going to put some screws in this. Actually, we're done with this now, so we can push it out like that, because we know for a fact that once we install the screws in this, it's right where it needs to go. So I'm going to do the install of this thing. It's, you know, a temporary install, and then we're going to start measuring up how the shaft is going to go. I got a picture in my head, but I'm not certain. So we're going to do some measuring and start whittling away at that stainless steel bolt to make our handle shaft. Alright, so this is the square that goes in the handle. This is the round part that the grommet is going to ride on. And then this part here is through the lock, and then the last part is for the inner handle. Now, it would have been nice if this bolt was a little bit larger in diameter so I could get more into the corners, but I think it'll be fine. Let me show you the fit here. Kind of anxious to cut this thing off, but I want to actually double check everything before I cut it. I lost my darn handle. Where'd it go? I'll leave it over here. Come on. Oh, it's right in front of me. So this fits in here. You have to pound it to get it on. There. So that's a nice fit. And so I just measured this. I think we're right on the money. It's measuring 0.516 ish, 515 that way, and this is the other way, 515. Okay. And when we measure the hole, we're getting about 518. So it gives us like 3 thousandths play. So that should be a nice loose fit. And that will help us compensate for not having corners. At least that's what I'm anticipating. So we're going to make one more set of measurements to make sure that this is what I wanted and the length of this is what I wanted. If it is, I'm going to go ahead and lob this thing off and we're going to give it its first test fit. Okay, here goes. I haven't tried this yet. So let's see if this is actually going to fit. You can see it's snug in the grommet because the grommet is kind of trying to wiggle around there a little bit. So we're going to have a good seal on that. So it's sticking out, I think it's sticking out about 1/8 of an inch. About 1/8 of an inch more than it did originally, but I want to make sure I've got plenty of space here so we don't scratch the paint. But, so there's enough meat there for me to make a hub. And what I think I'm going to do is make it a bar T-handle so you can push on both sides of it. That's what I think I'm going to do. But what time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock at night, so I think I'll call it a night. I think this is a great success. It really fits in there nice. Stainless steel shaft. It's exactly what I wanted. I'm very pleased. Very pleased. So you know what? I think I will do one more thing tonight. I'm going to take this off, give these pieces a final cleaning, and spray paint them. At least with the primer anyway. And that way tomorrow the paint will be dry.